Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. As you can see, the market is pretty red. Today is a Monday. Bitcoin is 2.47 down. Nothing really big, but overall, the vast majority of the coins are currently down. In today's video, I'm gonna share a setup that is currently unfolding on the daily. It's quite likely that we might see this movement. I'm also going to share an update on how are we doing on the weekly time frame and levels of reversals from this local top. And most importantly, stay in the video for this. This is a massive signal that I'm gonna share today regarding the MVP Studio. As you can see on these vertical red lines, we had the best entry here, the best entry there, and the best entry there, all of them after the breakout. I'll share my thoughts, what needs to happen first before we can confirm that we are about to see a massive entry on the MPT. This is on-chain data analysis. Of course, I'm gonna cover the shorter term on the 4 hour. We currently have a breakdown to the lower side. I'll share the levels that I see unfolding after this breakdown, liquidity levels, and if you stay until the very end of the video, I'm also going to share this special chart that is currently showing us what could happen based on the past performance of the past 3 cycles. We're gonna look at the liquidity in coinglass, we're gonna compare it with hyblock, see where is the confluence and what's going on as well with material charts. All of them are showing some confluence. Stay in the video so you learn all these insights. Guys, if you like this kind of content, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload one of these videos. We do technical analysis in the crypto market, in general markets as well, and we cover trading strategies with automated trading bots. Let's get started with the daily. Very important information. We see that this dotted line since more or less mid-December has been a massive support. You can see how many times we have respected this level. This is the 40.5k. More recently, 19th of January, we have a retest, and today we are currently having a retest. And you know what they say about levels that you continuously test? Eventually that liquidity starts draining, and what currently has formed this range here with this liquidity there might potentially move next to this if we break down. For that to happen, the RSI needs to lose this support here on the yellow line. As you can see, every time we hold 40, we are also going down on the daily. Notice as well that those are hidden bullish divergences, typically are interpreted by investors as continuation of the trend. And since on the daily we have an uptrend here, that is what the hidden divergences are telling us. In summary, if we break this, we are going to most likely move or range to these levels around here. But if we hold and we see a strong reaction here in the next upcoming hours, hopefully before the end of the day, so we don't close this red candle below all the previous close that we saw in the past 2 months. And if we see that strong reaction to the upside, this is going to most likely go towards the top of this descending channel. So in a similar way that when we were going up, we were fluctuating in the channel like this, currently we are fluctuating in the way down. And since we've been on the lower end of the channel, there is a likelihood that eventually we're going to push to the top. And the top is around 58 of the RSI. And if we pull in the reverse RSI, 58 is located more or less at 45k. So 45k is the bullish case for this descending channel to test the resistance of the RSI. If we break below, most likely we're going to retest the level 30 of the RSI. And 30 of RSI is more or less at 37k. So that is what the daily is giving us as the range. We got both the bullish and the bearish case in case we finally break that 40.5. On the weekly, very important, remember around late December past year, we were around these levels on 75 more or less, and we were talking that we could come back down and retest the support of the weekly channel on the RSI, just like we did here on the way down, just like we did here on the way up. And since late December until now, we had done halfway through our journey towards the support located at around 53 54 on the RSI. That coincides with around 38 on the price. But if we have a massive bearish narrative in the upcoming weeks or months, when we come back down here, we could lose this support. If we do that, we might make a full journey to the lower end of the weekly RSI. I don't see that necessarily happening. I think that's the lowest likely scenario, given that in 3 months we are going to have the halving. But I have to remind you that not very far in the previous cycle, when we were around this time and we were in a similar situation with the RSI, we completely lost the support. And that happened, of course, because of COVID. There was a massive global market macroeconomic crash with a V recovery. But when we were coming down, we lost the support and we went all the way down to the lower end of the RSI, even on the weekly. So low likely we will need some narrative with that level of impact, but if things keep going as planned, we should start finding the support somewhere from where we are towards that 54 on the weekly. If you want to stay updated with both the daily, the weekly RSI, and all these important levels, make sure that you're following me on Twitter. You're going to find me by the handle Trading Parrot. Very important what I'm going to show you here. This is on-chain data analysis, what's going on in the blockchain. And MVT Studio is one of my free indicators that you can find on TradingView. It stands for Network Value Transaction. Let's first inspect the previous performance. We got this line, and if you notice, this line, I have it with the same angle the 4 times. Starting from 2022, you can see here that there is a depression of the MVT. Comes down, it retests this angle 3 times, and on the 4th time, once it breaks above, we get the sweetest buy of the full bear market. Then the MVT gets really hot into the red area, comes back down, starts retesting this angle again, and what do you see once you break above this level? We get again the best buy of the second leg of this full bullish run. On the 3rd, same exact thing. We got this angle from the top, breakout around here, all the way from 25 to almost 49K. Currently, this has been coming down as we go up. It's been cooling down into the very low levels here. And what we could see in the best scenario, of course, is a breakout straight away here. And that will leave a lot of people behind. Do not assume that that's going to happen. That's just the happy path. Then we have a less happy path, which is this thing comes below the line, it starts retesting, and we have seen that happening here. We have seen this thing happening there, and we also saw it here. So on the first touch, we normally don't break above the trend line. We just test it, we define the range, and then we start retesting a few more times before we break above the line. If you want to know when we break above this line, I'm going to have an alert, and I'm going to let you know first on Twitter. On YouTube, I'm going to cover that, but it's going to be a few days after it happens. So follow me on Twitter. We're going to go into the 4-hour that is giving us a hidden bearish divergence, confirming a continuation to the downside that might have already played out because this came back down below, but we are now breaking this shorter term move of the RSI coming up. If you notice, what we are seeing here in the price is that we have a downtrend, lower lows, and on the RSI we are starting to print higher lows. But even though we are seeing those higher lows that are implying that we are printing bullish divergences, which is great. But at the same time, what is not as great is that we have broken down in the momentum once more. We are at RSI 31. If you are familiar with RSI, you know that from 31, there's still a long way to go to even levels like, for example, 5. That we have last year. That was the lowest level of RSI in the 4-hour that we have ever seen in Bitcoin. So breaking this could take us anywhere here. The only way that this could start pushing to the upside and breaking above this trend line is if this is an actual fake out. Of course, fake outs are less likely than the rule. And the rule is when you break below a trend line, you usually precede the price action, and first this breaks down and then followed by the price breaking below 40.5. Currently we are at 40.7. Let's see how these things develop, and if we end up breaking down below, we can see the fair value gaps that are spanning starting from 40, 48. There's quite a lot of juice here for a big week to take out all these levels in a single move. So be prepared, this ends at 38K, then there's a massive vacuum starting 32.8 all the way to 26.9. So of course, the most likely levels to be taken out first are these two. We'll see which one is gonna come first. In order to see what's more likely, we're gonna start incorporating in the rest of the video hyblock capital, coinglass, material indicators. So now the question is, which one has the bias currently that has the highest likelihood to be first? Before we go into that, I have prepared this amazing all-time chart of Bitcoin that is in the logarithmic scale, and that is showing the Fibonacci levels using moving averages. If you look at this cycle right here, you can see that the first move that happens in a bear market is breaking down below all the Fibonacci levels, and then we come for a first initial rally to the upside. From that initial rally, you can see that there is a retracement of 46%, even though this whole area here looks flat, and you might think that buying anywhere around here is amazing, considering that after that you get 25,000% to the upside. So who cares where you buy here? Still, there's a lot of pain because you might have bought around $7 and then you're 46% down. In the upcoming cycle, we see the same kind of pattern. You break below this, you have an initial run, and then you have 46 down, forming a double bottom. This is the double bottom of 2015. Again, after that, we get the actual bull run of 2017 that took us all the way to 20K. Next cycle, this is the cycle of COVID. We also come to the bottom of the Fibonacci levels. We have a first run around here. This ran too hot, too quick, and then COVID came, and we have a move down of 72%. That is real pain, okay? And we notice that we are crossing the first green line and we get to halfway through to the second green line. So let's see what is currently going on in this market. So number one, we touch these levels. Okay, we have done our initial early bull market run. Yes. Have we gone to the green? No. Green is around 67 and the second one is 99. In order to get there, we will need an all-time high. So I don't think that's going to happen. And if you notice, on every cycle as well, this is kind of flipping down, right? So first we touch the red. In this, we don't manage to get to red. In this, we don't manage to get to yellow. In this, we don't manage to get to even green. So who knows? Maybe in this cycle, we don't even get to the second green, at least if we continue that trend that is known as the diminishing returns. So let's assume that we have that 46-47% from the price where we are. If that happens, that will take us down to 23K. And that is just mimicking what has happened in every cycle. It's not a forecast. It's not what I think is going to necessarily happen, but I'm just showing you there in the chart that if we did the same that we have always done, you know, that's important, we could go to 23K. If the price now continues pushing higher and gets at least to the first green level, 73, in which case we can move this and say that we fall from there. And if we fall from 75, 47%, we will fall to 39K. So yes, if this repeats, we first need to ask from what high is that going to start happening. All right, let's start with coinglass to see the liquidity on the 3-day. We can see that 42 is calling out to be taken. And if there has to be a continuation to the downside, the price could take 42 and then come back down. On the weekly, it's showing that we could go even higher. There's 43 there hanging, but also there's a very low hanging fruit right at 40.1. Notice that this is double bottom pattern formed there. That's a bullish reversal candle pattern. On FAR charts, we see that the most significant levels with liquidity currently are 44 and 45. Yes, there was a little bit more liquidity liquidity on Sunday, and that has been removed slightly, but it's still there. From the normalized CBD, we can see that the whales of 10K to 100Ks are almost the only ones that are currently buying. The rest of all the pocket sizes are selling. And on hyblock capital is showing us that the delta is red, meaning that currently the shorts are the one risking more getting liquidated. Let's look now at the monthly combining BitMEX, Binance and Bybit, and you can see that the 51 is the largest level of liquidity. Very interesting. On the downside, 38.6 and 34.4, followed by 34.3. Let's have a look at the fear and greed index. You can see that currently we are in greed 55. Not long ago we were at 70. That was greed officially and almost entering in the very big greed. If we have a look at the full chart of the fear and greed index, you can see that this full move since the past year, we made it from almost level 6 all the way to 76. This is a channel of the full bull run that we just had. There's a few outliers here at levels of 30, but it's very easy to tell that this is a channel to the upside. And currently we are at 54, meaning that we are at the lower end of the fear and greed index for this channel. So two things can happen. Either the channel breaks to the downside and we start just going down, losing completely the run that we just had, and that will be the top 76, or we have another push to the upside, getting to levels that are way higher than the ones we are seeing now. This happened at the top of the bull markets, same on 23rd June 2019. That was prior to the COVID. So we could see a level like that, 84. Imagine this just pushes from 54, 30 points to 84, and that is the early market top. Altcoins are at 82 altcoin seasons. So our forecast that we were going to see altcoin season index at very high levels was accurate. 82 is pretty high, and we haven't had that since 2022 in August. You can see how many times in history we've been this high, and these are the coins that are currently outperforming Bitcoin, and thanks to that we are seeing the index being at 82, meaning that 82% of the top 50 coins perform better than Bitcoin in the past 90 days. The top performing versus Bitcoin is Ordi with a whopping 1,133%. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to hit the like and leave a comment down below. I will really appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.